Yo. So you want to get your sneaker game up, right? You tired of rocking Jordans, which is the pinnacle. Nike is the pinnacle. You want to do something different, right? Once you figure out what your style is as far as like what you like to rock, like I said, man, mine gonna always be the Jordan 3 SBs and 95s. If you're talking about, you might want to add a few items of other brands. Some shit that I seen, man. I'm normally not a Supreme person, right? But Supreme, I think they dropped some Doc Martens that had the skulls on it. Nigga, that shit is cold. And they did 3 different colors. I think they got a blue, a black, and a red. Fire. Look that shit up. The Supreme Doc Martens with the skulls on it. That shit cold. If you want to stay in the realm of like sneaker of the year category, look at Adidas. Adidas just dropped them jellyfish. That is a good ass investment right there. That's a shoe, for one, that's gonna hold value. So even if you was to buy that bitch on a resale level, first of all, imagine if you got that bitch at retail, you sitting golden. But even if you were to get that as a resale, it's gonna hold its value. Even if you were to wear it a couple times and put them up and take care of them, that shoe is one of them shoes that holds its value as long as you take care of it. I can't never see that shoe dropping below $1,000. Just like the Brick by Bricks, that shoe, even if you were to wear it because it's a sneaker of the year, it's gonna hold its value. Even used, you probably should, I would keep that bitch around $500 used, as long as it's in good condition and whatnot and not beat up. Don't let these mocks try to dictate to you. You know what I'm saying? Do your research, charge what you want to charge. Don't let these motherfuckers dictate to you what you should sell they shit for based upon they trying to get it out of your whatchamacallit. Brooks. We just did the a lot of people sleeping on Brooks. We just did the sneaker of the year. The sneaker of the year, Brooks by Pigeon, is definitely, but even if you can't get that Pigeon, Brooks still got some heat. They got some shit from a couple years ago that I've been trying to get. I keep my eye on it. That's a good brand. What else? Man, why not? It's $30. Why not go to Walmart and grab a pair of Avias? Why not? I mean, first of all, Avia is an old school brand. I used to wear that. I used to love Avias. Clyde Drexler, Pippen used to wear Avias too. You know what I'm saying? Get you some Walmart Avias. Put that in the rotation. Yeezy, them bullies that he re-released. I think at one point he was selling them for $20, but I think he raised the price on them. He raised the price to $80. It's still a good ass deal, and it's still a good looking shoe. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Converse, you always got to keep some Converse, but of course you got the Shays, but then again, you got to look into the for example, I didn't know that they actually did a Stranger Things pack. Not only was it a Dunk, it was also an Air Max. I think it was an Air Max 1 or Air Max, I think it was an Air Max 1. And then they also did a Converse, like a weapon. It's like white and blue. Some other Converse that I've seen is you might want to try to get the weapons like they did. I think they only did a Friends and Family for the Magic Johnson weapons, which is still a I'm gonna put that down. That's still a shoe that they need to re-release. As a matter of fact, I think they should go ahead and release all the original 6 colorways from the commercial. I think you had like, it was Magic, Larry, Isaiah. You had the Dallas Mavericks joint. It's like 6 different colors. And then they did some colors for Shea. Like they got an orange one and whatnot. Them weapons is definitely tight. I would love to have that all black. They did do an all green, like a revised one. And then they did a snake skin colorway that was dope like 4 or 5 years ago. So, you know, you can't go wrong with Converse. You always want to keep some Chucks. You can go to the outlet, man, and get some Chucks. Just a nice pair of Chucks to have in the rotation. What's another brand? You know, when I think of old school, I think of Diadora. Diadora is an Italian brand. I've got a pair of Diadora running shoes. Like I said, man, I'm not the one, you know, like, I'm not mad at the cats that got huge inventory. Like, if you're somebody that's your lane and you get all type of shoes and inventory and you can move shoes, that is a monster on its own. But as a personal collector, as we get older, I personally think you definitely have to keep moving units, because you don't want to keep spending where you can sell stuff and use that money to buy new stuff. You're probably not going to wear everything anyway. But if you're not one of them cats that actually have like a store and this is your actual business, like you move shit, like I would get away from like hoarding. You really just have to figure out what your formula is and just go at it. You know what I'm saying? And once you do that, then you're gonna be gravy. But Kangaroos is another one, another slept on brand. You get one pair of them. Asics. I'm not mad at Asics. There was something Asics had released, I think it was by somebody named Anderson. They did some joints a couple years ago that was cold. They just released that collaboration that they did with Marvel, Capcom. I was in Kith. I seen one of them pairs. I think it was like the Iron Man colorway. It was going for like 400 or something bucks. Asics is not bad. You definitely got to keep a pair of Asics. I beat mine up. I got to get a new pair. New Balance, of course. For me, I mean, I got a couple pair of New Balance now. I got one pair that I haven't worn. It's like an old school. I think it was, what is it, the 650 or the I got the 650, 550, one of them. Whatever the high top number is, I believe that's the 650. But Joe Fresh Goods, you can't miss out with that. That's a pair that I definitely want to get back. And he just released a couple of pairs. Man, when I think of them, I think of Joe Fresh Goods and them. I always think about that damn Keisha. I had that white pair too, but that Keisha blue is fire. What else? The joints that they did for Pata, the Beat and the CMOS. That's another good one. You might want to get some 550s, the low tops. You know, get a couple of pair of New Balance. What else? Puma. I'm really not a big on Puma, but you definitely got to keep a pair. Just like you get the All-Star Converse, you definitely want to get a pair of the old school Chucks. Some Clydes. Not Chucks, but the Clyde, you know, the Walt Frazier's or whatever. Get you some Clydes. And just, is that I'm saying it right? It's the low, is like I said, it's similar to like the low Chucks, but it's like a low old school Puma. People get them normally in black, get them in white, get them in blue, get them in red, put some fat laces in them just to have some old school shit. Just like how you would have the Adidas Superstar, and you know, you would do it in like a hip hop fashion and had the laces in them bitches. The same thing with the Puma. Like I said, I've had a couple pairs of Pumas. I really only got 1-2 pairs now. You know what I'm saying? But you definitely want to do them. What else off the top of the dome? Saucony. You definitely have to get you a pair of J-tips. Now, if you really want to go old school, you go back and get you one of them the same thing, like one of them old school running shoes by Saucony. Or you can get these new models that they doing, especially the J-tips, and then, you know, Westside Gun and them, they just did one. But get you a pair of Sauconys and put them in the rotation. I'm trying to think what else, man. Vans is another one. You could get you some, you know, you ain't got to spend too much money. Get you a Vans is just like the previous ones. Like I said, like Puma, like Converse. Just get you a pair of Vans. If you want to be more stylish and get you something a little bit upscale, they just did a bunch of the joints in 2025 where, you know what I'm saying, they got like that distressed leather on it, and then they've got like all these different symbols on the side of them. Some other stuff, like I got a bunch of North Face. You know, like I said, I like to wear them mules. Get you some North Face mules. Get you some Columbia mules. What else? The Reeboks. Definitely got to look into some Angel Reese Reeboks. So, like I said before, man, figure out your style and build your shit around your formula and your style. Get rid of all the extra fluff. You know, if you getting up in age, you know, you definitely want to get rid of stuff out your closet, because as you get older, you don't want to be waiting till you get older to try to figure some shit out. Trust me, if you do that, man, you got to constantly be in the mentality of cleaning your shit, maintaining your shit, and pricing it, and being on the like, yo, we gotta level up and get something else. You know what I'm saying? Because I know some older sneaker cats. They definitely got to be at least either a little bit older than me, or probably like 10, 15 older than me. I don't know if they got into it because maybe they was in the retail side of the business, or they were coaching, but I know cats that's older than me, they sneaker game is way better than me or anybody that I know that's around my age or a little bit younger, and they constantly buying all that shit. So, you know, a lot of these cats, man, they get older, they take their retirement money and they invest in that shit, and, you know, they don't get that fluff. They get that shit that slap, you know, like a Yellow Lobster, Supremes. They keep all the exclusives, 2 pairs. You know what I'm saying? So there's only a few cats that can really do that. Like, your bread got to be strong to maintain that shit. You know, it's like a hobby. And I don't know. You know, I did, like I said, the only thing that I've requested as far as shoes that I would love to see, I said the Reebok Black Tops, the 95 Currys, Jordans 21, 15, 16, 19, the Adidas by Leaders moccasin in like different colorways. It'd be cool if they did like a green, a gold, and a red, and like a black with like green, white, and red trimming. That shit'd be dope. What else did I have in there? Oh, and you know, I always said that Nike Air Flight. This year though, as far as, you know, I haven't checked GOAT to see what's on their release calendar. I've definitely seen Z Sneakerhead dropping a lot of shit, like they about to release the Royals. Now remember, they did the Reimagined Royals a couple years ago, but it was like that Velcro felt, what is that, velvet? that kind of brush cotton material. But now they finna do like the real deal leather joints that you'd be used to. So that's gonna be something to be looking into. And then what else? Can't think of nothing else that they releasing. Oh, they doing a Air Jordan 15, but it's not like the OG. You know, when I say 15, you know, we talking about the OG 15 in black done properly. Now they've released a couple pairs. Like, I ain't gonna front, that Billie Eilish one is dope. The all tan joint, that's a dope one. 16 hasn't been released. They've released them. Westbrook had a pair, and then they did one, I think, for Jimmy Butler, and it's all blue. That all blue 16 is dope. The 19 in all black would be cold, and definitely the 21 in all red. Like, come on, man. Them would definitely be cold to have back. But outside of them two, I have not seen anything that has caught my eye as far as, like, you know, 2025 was a good year. 2023 and 2024 was good years too. But now it's going to be very interesting to see what they do in 2026, man, because I think they done released everything that they could. Beside them announcing this 15 and this 16, this 15 and the Royal one coming out in the holiday, what they gonna do? So, all right, man. I'll think of something else and come back later. Peace.